I'm born in Norway, in the southern part of Norway, in Kristensand, and grew up there. Both my parents are Norwegian, and I guess I traveled since I was quite small because my parents always used to take me to Italy for a month every summer, and just while I was small. And then when I was 15, I got to spend a year as an exchange student in the United States. And
where were you in the U.S.?
Yeah, well, it's funny. I was in the Midwest, and I didn't really know about the United States or the difference about what's in the different states. And I was just given a host family, and I still remember going to look up because it said Iowa, And
you were in Iowa?
I was in Iowa.
Wow.
I loved it, but I would look up in the dictionary Iowa because I never heard about Iowa. And it was like, definition of Iowa is corn and pigs. And I was like, yay!
Well, I'm from Indiana, so I know Iowa very well.
Yeah. So
what age were you when you were there?
15 to 16, yeah. So I was a junior in high school, taking some senior class high courses as well, so that I could go back to Norway, and instead of taking the year again like I was supposed to, I kind of did 2 years in one. So it was great. So I finished my high school in Norway, and first 1.5 years, which is the primary part of law school in Norway, and it was horrible. I was sitting there in the study, studying on my own, and I loved the part of the law, but it was just really lonesome. It was boring. So I decided that I wanted to do something else. Actually, I didn't really know what. So in Norway, you kind of finance your studies by having a study loan, and I had a study loan for that 1.5 years, so I wanted to pay that down while I was finding out what I actually wanted to do in my life. So I decided to join a cruise ship.
You on a cruise ship?
I was a stewardess. I cleaned cabins.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, not so nice, but it was really fun, actually. Yeah, I went out. I was 19, and I don't think I've ever earned as much money in 1 month as I did while I was working on the cruise ships, because it was all tips based, and it was a luxury cruise line. So it was Renaissance cruises at the time. It was
nice.
100 passengers and all suites. So it was a good life. We would earn $4,000 or $5,000 a month, tax free, no expenses. So we would be cleaning cabins in the morning, then we'd be drinking pina coladas on the beach in Caribbean during the day, and then doing turn down in the afternoons or evenings, and then having crew parties in the evenings. It was great, seeing the world.
That sounds like the perfect life for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, it was fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
okay, not so much for the law. So did a little cruise ship, and then what took you to what you're doing today?
Well, I'm doing so many things today, but what I actually ended up doing is a degree within hospitality, so hotels and hospitality. And I went back to Norway after doing cruise ships for a few years, and I heard about a program because I wanted to study abroad. And I heard about a program in Switzerland, and I went down to visit a school in Switzerland in Graubünden, the German part, and I applied there, and I started that education, which took me through 2 years of schooling and 1 year of practice.
And is that what took you back to Disney when you did your
Well,
practice?
that's the first time I went to Disney. It was my first 6 months of practice in the school. I was at the opening of the All-Star Sports Resort at Disney World.
Yes.
And then we finalized the school. I met my husband there as well, so he was doing the same education. And when we finished, we went into the management trainee program at Disney. So we spent almost 2 years.
All that training has taken you to your event company and your import company and your big idea. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, after being in Disney, I'm married actually with my husband. He's Portuguese, and we lived in Madeira for 11 years. And that's actually when most of these company ideas started. So I was working with an incoming company there, specializing in cruise shore excursions for cruise lines. And I was doing conferences at the FCCA in Caribbean, and being the only European destination, being an island destination, trying to get contacts. And we were constantly hearing, we need new activities in the Caribbean, and we need new stuff there because all the cruise lines are going in there. And we came up with this idea that we wanted to bring in a Norwegian pirate theme concept, and that's 11.5 years ago. So in the meantime, in these 11.5 years, I've had a tour company and moved back to Norway with my family, and also started up an import company together with my father. So we're doing some import to Norway. And the last 8 months, the theme park project has really gone forwards. We bought some piece of land, and we are now really starting on the design of the project and having investor talks. So it's great. It's really funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so just give everybody a sneak peek about the theme park, because you toured us in a similar idea when we were in Norway, and I got that in my head. And so now every pirate thing I see, I think of you, and I send positive whammies for the pirate empire that you're building. So
right.
Tell everybody just a little bit about the super big idea.
Yeah. Well, it's a theme park concept that comes out of Norway in terms of a piracy. It's a fictional pirate, and has a lot of song and music to it, theater place as well. And the way it will be developed down in the Dominican is in Puerto Plata, and it's on 50 acres of land. It's beautiful by the beach, and it's going to be incorporated with some of the local things as well, of legends and things like that. And going to be theater shows and lots of activities and some rides, obviously, but it's going to be kind of like an immersive world, you know, where you can actually be a pirate. And it's very suitable for adults, not only children. So it's quite intriguing, actually. We're working with a team out of Orlando, ex-executives from Disney, most of them, to make sure we make the right fit. And it's very interesting, because in Norway it's very much a family concept. So what you saw when you were there, it's like a hotel, right? And we don't want to. We want to bring that and lift that, and then create it into something that's attractive also for adults. Nice. So it's very fun. Yeah.
Well, the Norway one was really fun to see, and that's such a big idea. What is the timetable? Do you have a dream opening? Right now it's funding. Right now you're getting your funding together.
Yeah, so it's all depending on the funding, right? Yeah.
But in a perfect world, say it out loud, because that brings all the good news.
Sure, yeah, I know. I mean, like I'm in Orlando next week, actually, right? For some of these meetings, and ideally we'll be starting to build in August 2019.
Wow.
And opening within 2 years. Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know one, Sarah Lane, that will be just about graduating from high school, getting a little college in there. We'll be happy to come and work
Of course, yeah. We have a lot of people who said that, actually, both from Norway and from everywhere. We're like, oh, that's so fun. You're making something in Caribbean.
That's right. Very international group.
Yeah.
Well, we ask everybody when it was hard. Tell us about a time that has been hard in your life and what you learned. Because people are listening to this show about, just things. So, like, when has it been hard? And it could be now, and just like, what skills did you learn?
Yeah. Well, there's been so many. Not so many. I mean, I always had a philosophy since I actually was an exchange student. I had a situation. I'm not going to talk about that, but that kind of taught me right away when I was very young that actually there's always two ways of taking the opportunities when it's hard times, right? And a lot of people, I think, they say, oh, I'm having a hard time, and that's why I behave the way I do, or I don't move forwards, or don't stay positive in life. And then there's the other ones to say, well, I'm going to try to take out the best of what happened to me and make me stronger and go for it. So I think probably one of the latest one that's maybe more relative is when we moved back to Norway 8 years ago. Both my husband and I had a job, and was economical downturns in Portugal. So we wanted to move back to Norway for some years to make sure the kids had safe educations and opportunities in life. So we moved back, and I went like 2 months before with my kids, and my husband was coming because he had 3 months resignation time. And while we were there, the job offer for my husband was canceled. So he couldn't come. So he had to wait until I got another job, and that took over a year.
Wow.
So I was alone with the kids, and we're settling in, and the kids, especially our son, who he got bullied very much in school. So it was a really hard time. Yeah. So we were kind of like pendling back and forth every 2 months, and it's a strain, I think, on everybody when kids are like middle. But it did teach us a lot, actually, because he managed to get a new job and came after 1.5 years, and it's been great for the kids. They have great opportunities now, and I think it's taught us as a couple that we have a lot in common that we didn't really know we had, because we're definitely opposites in personality. So and it's made our marriage stronger, and it's been really good for the kids as well, actually, to realize that, even though the situations are the way they are sometimes, not perfect, that you actually have strong parents and with a strong relationship, and that things move forward anyway, and everything gets a happy ending.
Yeah. Or just everything is what it is, and we make it happy because we
exactly.
choose.
Yeah,
right?
it just makes part of life, because life is like that, right?
Life
it's not
is
perfect,
like
and it doesn't go smooth the whole time. It's
Not
just the
for
way things
anybody
are.
I know.
No,
But-
exactly.
Well, the last thing we ask is, what is your global statement to women? So, like, we just like to say, if you could just say one thing to women of the world, what would you tell them? What would be your encouragement to women? Because here you are an importer, you're an entrepreneur, you're inventing an incredible, and we'll do, we'll be at the grand opening, we'll do a live.
Yeah.
When you're opening the beautiful theme park, what would be the thing you would give as advice to women?
Yeah, it's not so easy to say it shortly, but I would think from my own perspective, it's to never feel intimidated by others, and to just go for what you believe in yourself and dream of doing, and not feeling that just because you're a woman or just because people say that it's crazy or not, that you don't do it anymore. So I think I take myself many times, even today, I suddenly think that, oh, I'm feeling bad or I'm feeling guilty. Should I say something or shouldn't I? Because of comments from others, you know. And even in Norway, with so much equality, there's still a lot of lesser opportunities for women, and you're kind of like looked upon. I can tell you, when people ask me what I do, I never say exactly what I do. I start with, well, I have a tour company, and then they're like, oh, that's so cool, we talk a little bit about that, and I'm like, yeah, and then there's the import company, and I explain why, because my father getting old, and then I wait a little bit depending on how they're reacting, and then I'm like, and then we're making a theme park in Caribbean. And I'm like, afterwards I automatically apologize. Literally, I say, I'm sorry, I know it's crazy and it sounds really crazy and strange, you know, but it's just the way things happen, you know, and that's something we shouldn't do, right? We shouldn't apologize for actually doing fun things and having a great time.
And having a big idea.
Yeah.
All right, so tell them your contact information, and then they can also find it right here on the screen, because someone just might say, I have some resources, or I'm very interested in your theme park, or else I need a Christmas tree, or perhaps I need a tour.
Or tell me how you got so crazy.
That's right, or tell me how you got so crazy. So just say your name again and your
Okay,
contact
which one
information.
should I give then of the three?
Whichever one.
Okay, I'll give my craziest one. That's Belinda, Belinda, at pirates-adventures.com.
All right.
Yeah.
Super. Well, we have been so happy to have an international superstar.
Yay.
You'll be reading about her in all the worldwide magazines, entrepreneur, theme park developer, tour guide, and great mom, wonderful life partner. Thank you, Belinda, for being part of the show.
Thank you. It was great. Thank you very much.